Connecting. Okay, we're live.
Hey, is that you, Pamela?
Yes, it is.
How you
Good
doing?
to see you.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Are you in Boston itself?
I am. As soon as we're done here, I have an appointment. I actually have 2 appointments today with the restaurant owner, trying to get him signed up. He says he's ready to go.
Well, that's great.
He has 2 locations. So I believe the one in Boston is the most busy one he has.
Yeah.
There's 21.
So that's where I'll be going as soon as I'm done here.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. I'm making a note. We'll get started here in just a 1 minute. How's the weather back there? Is it pretty hot still, or is it cooling down?
No, it's down.
Yeah.
We're in the 60s, which is comfortable.
Yeah. At least you don't have that awful heat and humidity.
Yeah.
It gets pretty humid there, I guess, in Boston in the summertime.
It can. Mm-hmm.
I was looking up here, Boston's, the Sox, they're not doing so good this year.
I'm not really a sports. I'm not a sports fanatic. I hear the highlights. I know the Celtics won. What is it? The playoffs?
Yeah.
For the East Coast. Yeah, they won. Yeah.
But they're always in the hunt. Those guys are pretty good. Let's see. Have you got me on there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How many are on?
27.
Okay. We'll start building. Good morning, everybody. Let me see who's in the house here for a second. Rodrigo, good morning from Seattle. I was just on with Patrick Santiago. He's from Seattle also. Let's see. Good morning, Lloyd. Let's see.
Hi, Lloyd. Good morning. Art's here.
Art's there.
Hi, Art.
Oh, yeah.
Legacy Ride Share.
Guys, shout out Trip Nation. There you are. James Jones. Deborah Emery. Go Trip Nation. Let's go, man.
Phoenix. Good morning, Phoenix.
Hey,
How
Phoenix.
did your meeting go yesterday? Good. I hope all good.
Yeah.
John from Los Angeles.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Coyette
from Toronto. Good morning, Coyette.
Oh, Oscar. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi amigo? Let's see. Well, let's get started. We're a few minutes into it. I want to introduce to you, everybody. We have Pamela Henry on the phone. She's from Boston, and right now she's teaching you guys how to sign up restaurants because she's cleaning the floor with you guys. I think she signed up 9 or 10. She's probably going to have 20 or 30 probably in the next week or 10 days signed up. And I just wanted you to meet with her. And then also Scott Jones from Nashville, who signed up restaurants also. I think he's got 2 or 3 signed up already, and he's going for more. And the reason I wanted to showcase both of them, just to let you guys know that they're out working and don't seem to be having any real issues. And we're here to support them 100%. So Pamela, you want to jump in and say a few words to the folks?
Well, well, this is new for me. I'm not really a spokesperson. I'm kind of like the behind the scene type of person, but basically what I try to do and what might be helpful is you got to plan your day. Plan your day as far as the in-person visits you're going to have to the restaurants and the calls you're going to make to follow up or try to catch those owners that you might have missed when you visited. You got to strategize your targeted areas. I try to go into specific areas and then I go in order of the restaurants in that area and try to get the owners. If you meet with the owner, what I generally try to do, obviously, I have flyers that I made up. So when I go in, I have my clipboard, I have my flyer for the particular um, restaurant. So this is basically what I provide them. The flyer, I give them the pitch. It kind of outlines what we're doing. On the back, I kind of give a little breakdown of the examples of the savings compared to others. And then I have a little card that I made up. So if they're interested, at that point, I have them either myself or have them fill out the card with their name, their number, their email. At that point, if they're interested and there's time, I try to land them as far as getting them in the system and registered. And then schedule an appointment if it's too busy to go back and finalize the process. That's a bit tricky because sometimes it's difficult to get back in once you leave. But that's basically what I try to do. If the owner's not there, I fill out the card with their name, the best time to reach them, phone number, and so forth. And that goes on my list of calls to try to meet them. Other than that, I've created, and I think what we need to do is get the word out there, get the logos out there, because the difficulty I'm having, it's new. A lot of these owners do not know anything about Trip, and it's making it very difficult. I have one restaurant owner that I had processed, and he was ready to go. He didn't follow up as far as paying the dollar to activate. I went back in to meet with him, and he's like, well, I started with this new company, Deliverer or something. I've never heard of it, but I guess they've been around 7 years. He's like, I'm just concerned with this Trip thing. What if they don't take off? They're new, it's a startup. You know, they might take off with my money. And, you know, these are the types of things I'm hearing. So I told him, well, I've been giving you information, follow up, research, whatever. I think I gave him robertmcnulty.com website because he thought that maybe it's a bunch of young guys that's doing a startup with this delivery service. I said, no, the guy that started it, he's experienced, he's been in the industry, he knows what he's doing. So, you know, so I'm finding it difficult because it's new. So we got to get the logos out there. Basically what I did, I created logos and signs I'm going to put on my vehicle. I don't know if anyone can see this. I've created QR codes. So this is a banner that I'll be putting on the back window of my vehicle. I had it laminated as staples. And then these are some larger ones that I'm going to put on my side back window.
Great.
And basically what you want to do is promote the company. Once they start seeing the logos out, people will, you know, start to see it more and more, and you know, it'll help because we all have a stake in this. So, and then one of the things that I try to do is not just about the restaurant. When you go to these restaurants, look for drivers. Sometimes there's drivers coming in to pick up orders. Target them as well. And I have flyers for the drivers also that I would provide the drivers. If any of you have been doing the Uber Eats and DoorDash and so forth, you know customers that you deliver to. I go to those buildings and those homes, and I just leave flyers on their porch with my QR code. So you have to target it from all aspects, and that's basically what I'm trying to do.
Now I can see why you're successful. You did a magnificent job. I mean, you're disciplined, you're process driven. You know, you've thought through the process, you've thought through the rejections, which is always the hardest thing when you're out selling something, right? But I have to tell you, I'm very impressed what you put together. It's just, it's a matter of people really just thinking through the process. We're all entrepreneurs, so we all have a different thought process. But at the end of the day, it still takes a lot of tenacity to get out there, but the rewards are really, really good. So I'm just blown away about the amount of detail you've gone through. Now I really understand, because I actually went through and looked at all the addresses you signed up, you know, and I can see you're working an area, you know, it's like almost, are you walking in the street almost? up and down or whatever, but it's very
Yeah.
disciplined approach that you're taking, and you will get to 50, no problem.
Oh, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But for me, it's not even about being on the leaderboard. It's more about the projection. I see where this can go for so many,
Yes.
and that's what this is about for me. So, yeah, we all have a part to play in this, and
Yeah.
if
You know,
everyone can
and
just
also if once these
yeah.
restaurateurs really understand the amount of savings that they're going to put in their pocket by not getting the menu marked up and things like that. I mean, this goes right back into saving them money, and food costs are a big piece of the restaurant business. And as soon as you start taking margin out, they don't make money. So, but listen, Pamela, you're to be congratulated. Everybody give her a hand because she has done a magnificent job with her marketing materials, and also the QR code you put on there. We were talking about that last week. People should really understand how to use it, and it's a very, very strong marketing tool if it's used properly. So I want to also then introduce Scott. Scott Jones is down outside of Nashville, and he's signed up a couple stores already, restaurants. And Scott, you want to come on and give us a few words? Thanks, Pamela. Stay on though, don't get off.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Basically what I've been doing is, because I'm still doing Uber Eats, Group, Grubhub, Postmates, and DoorDash, and delivery dudes. So whatever comes up and I go to the restaurant, I just give them information about trip delivers, and talk to the manager briefly and say, I'm going to come back a little bit later, or I'll get their business card and call them back while I'm on a run delivering food. And because I'm constantly seeing them all the time, so I'm just going back to the people that I see all the time. And then when I'm not working, I'll go and make an appointment, meet with them, and then pretty much just make it simple for them. Let them know they're going to save some money. There's no contract. There's no food markup or menu markup, and pretty much they're in, you know.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I can get you set up right here. You know, it's going to take about a couple minutes. And I want to say thank you for shortening the process, because in the beginning, the first restaurant that I signed up, I had to go through, I spent over 2 hours there trying to get him set up.
Yeah.
And
well, when you see the full-blown new process, it's very quick. You could do it in 5 minutes.
Right.
You know, but I'm sorry, go ahead and jump back in, Scott.
So anyway, so yeah, after I got that done and then I shortened it, when I did Local Taco, it was pretty much simple. I just filled out the registration and hit register, and then pretty much that was it. Yeah. And I believe Art and Shannon got in touch with them, and then next thing I know, I see Local Taco on Facebook.
Yeah, well, here's the neat thing, and I looked also at some of Pamela's signups and yours. You know, people don't really understand the power of this yet, but when you sign up a restaurant and then they have 4,000 or 5,000 followers, actually one of them, I think up in the Northwest had about 10,000. So those are potential customers that can lock back into helping you grow your business, right?
Right.
So people don't realize the reach and the power of that, because once you start sharing your app on refer and earn side of that too, and get them to download it, that's a big piece of this. So if you think about 3 or 4 restaurants, let's say they average 3,000 to 4,000 people. I mean, 3 or 4 restaurants, you're really getting 10, 15, 20,000 people reach. And you can't get that anywhere else except in the way we're doing it. And that's really the power. And that'll come along as we start to build the market itself.
That was Scott's.
Yeah.
It was the Local Taco. It had almost 5,000 on Instagram and over 10,000 on their Facebook.
Yeah, they had, which blew me away when we looked it up, had 10,000 on their Facebook. But so here's what's interesting. Pamela has a defined process to do it. And Scott uses his friendship already established with the restaurant to do it. So you can see the multiple ways are out there. There's no one right way. And everybody's kind of got to get their feel. I mean, I was talking to some, I won't mention this morning, but a couple of guys on the phone this morning. They're going to start lighting up Las Vegas here and a couple other markets. And they have their own way to do it too. There's no, like I said, there's no right way, but the thing that both you have in common is the tenacity to go do it. People don't realize that first mover to get off, and get moving is really critical. Once you do that, it's not that difficult to do. I met with a new guy, and he's not new to the company. He's been in the company for a year and a half, but I wanted to meet him because he did a really nice video, Andre Sorel, the other day. And yeah, and he did a really great job. And he's about being an entrepreneur. He wants to be independent. He wants to have his own ability to earn for himself and not have people tell him what to do. And he's got it down right. And we're actually going to introduce him to his first restaurant that he can sign up probably next Friday. And then we have another group that's going to get started. So I want to start bringing those people together same way. But I just want to commend Pamela. You're doing a beautiful job. I just love it to watch entrepreneurs in action. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is what I find is the excuse with some restaurant owners in terms of the activation fee.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, I never had to pay an activation fee with DoorDash or some new company or Uber Eats. And I try to tell them, well, you may not be paying that up front, but you are paying it because they're getting it one way or another throughout their relationship with you. They're just getting it on the back end. So even with drivers, with the subscription, well, they feel uncomfortable about a subscription because they're so used to the current system where they just go out and drive and they get that delivery fee, and that's the extent of it. And they don't understand, like the example I have on the flyers for the driver, on the back of it, I say, do the math. Every $100 you make for yourself with all the other guys, they've already made $90 to $120 off your effort. So just paying a small subscription fee and keeping the rest of it for yourself, that makes a lot more sense because you're working for you at that point.
Correct.
And not working to earn for someone else.
Exactly. And the other thing is they have to understand is they don't even pay their subscription fee till 30 days after they're driving and collecting funds. So they're collecting 100% of the ride share through the whole month. And that's a risk for us because think about it. If somebody makes $1,000, let's say, and they're part-time or $2,000 or $3,000, they've already collected all that money. They could tell us they don't want to pay us. And then we're out, we haven't made any money, right? So those are some of the things that people need to understand. We're trying to just get it really fair for people that they understand they're in charge of their own business. And it's a different paradigm shift, but over time we'll win because we're not doing anything different than it hasn't been done in basic business for a long time, which is being the low cost provider, trying to put more money in the pockets of the driver, more money in the consumer's pocket, more money in the restaurant's pocket. And we just take a smaller share of that pie. So it's very easy to manage for us instead of doing splits and it's all hidden. I always call it hiding the football, right? They're always trying to hide the football from everybody. So you can't play in the game.
As you can see on my flyer, I have everyone wins.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's terrific.
It's a process where everybody benefits from this, not just the company itself.
Right, and that's the that's the thing. The collective energy of the company, the people in the field. Even though everybody's spread all over the United States, it's still a giant team effort to win. And those are the things that are really, really critical from a business standpoint. Is how do you bring everybody together as a team and thinking, the right way and articulating the business the same way to everybody. But I just wanted to have you guys on. I really appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate all your hard efforts. And like I say, once this COVID's over, I'll be on the road visiting with all of you guys. I love Boston. I was actually going to take my grandson before COVID. We had planned to go to Boston and watch a baseball game, believe it or not. And but we'll have to do that next year once the season restarts. Same way in Nashville. Go ahead. Were you saying?
Maybe at the rate things are going, it might be the following year.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, everybody, let me get into some of the updates on everything. Let me, let's see, we got any questions here? Let me give you guys some real quick updates. There's still some confusion about legacy. Everybody that's a legacy should be in the system. There might still be a few missing. If they are missing, let us know. However, it won't show up in legacy in your back office till you actually sign up as a driver and you pay the dollar. That's the trigger point when it shows up. The other thing we're introducing on the 16th, at the end of the day on the 16th, which is next week, the new marketer program. So if you don't want to drive, but you're a legacy, you'll just download the consumer app, click on the marketing program, and then you pick your plan. It's $39 or $99. You pay the $1. That'll activate your back office if you haven't activated yet to see if your legacy, your stock options are there. So that's a new program we're implementing. We're also, like I said, working on the process flow, on the sign-up process. We're going to make it even smoother. That's all coming along. Yesterday, also an update, the automated sign-up tool that we use for the background search was finally was integrated yesterday 100%. So the process for the approval is probably going to be less than 5 minutes. As we really get going, we actually think it's going to get down to a minute or two. We have about 500-600 drivers that signed up just recently in the last week or so, which are in our database. However, about 100 of them still haven't put all of their information in. We're going to make an effort starting Monday to contact all those people to say, here's what you need to do to get your information into the system. And a lot of it's pretty simple. It's like people are trying to use other kinds of photos when you just take a selfie and then just hit the four corners of it. And that'll solve a lot of the problems. Most of the declines have been around that, where improper information was not coming through. So we'll get all that cleaned up. And we're just going to keep moving forward. One of the things to think about, a lot of these restaurants in Miami, for example, I just found out the other day, on the food restaurant side, a lot of these restaurants are doing 75 pickup and deliveries a day now down in the Miami market. So we have about 19,000 people. So the guys that are working that market ought to get going, because that's a powerhouse at 75 trips a day. So those are big numbers. You guys got to learn to share your consumer app or the driver app if you're signed up a driver, so people are connected to you. Everything's pretty well been resolved on the apps. We're still working on the text messaging, where we've been selectively blacklisted because of a problem. We should have that solved. We were on the call with our text messaging service technology company. So we're getting the individual codes set up for that. Once that comes up, then we'll be good anywhere. We won't be getting blocked and all that stuff. We're probably still 3-4 weeks out on that. Let me go to some Q&A here, guys.
Phoenix wants to know, how can he get a polo like yours?
I have to ask my amigo to do that. Oscar did this for me, but I'll find out where I can get them, and then we'll get them posted up.
Jim says somebody has created restaurant flyers.
Who?
Jim, good enough. So everybody's doing their own flyers, Jim.
Yeah. So Jim, if you look at what Pamela did, she went out and took her own initiative to be successful, and she created her own flyer. However, we did post up some samples of flyers on our Facebook. So if you go there, you can see where you could place a photo, where you can place a QR code, those kinds of things that we're trying to help with you. Also, I'm getting a lot of questions on things the last couple of days. You just got to go in your back office and spend 20-30 minutes in your back office. One of the things that we did complete yesterday, by the way, you can now see your first level of people, you 50 at a time. You can also print out your first level, prints out their name, their information, phone number. So now you have your people that you've signed up or you're working with. You can see that first level. The second level, we have to get that program so you can print that out. Typically, there's more people on the second level because you have a lot of greater people putting in. So, but those are really important tools to use as opposed to not using. And we know that. So we made that available. That's up and running now.
Also, we had that Michael at businessopportunity.com that said if you email him, he would help you make a flyer. He'd make one for you.
Yeah. So if you guys need some help, Michael at businessopportunity.com said he would help you. I don't know if he's a graphic artist, but I looked at some of the stuff he's done. It looks great. And anybody that wants to help, that's a team spirit. It's everybody trying to come together. You're all in different markets, so you're not going to be encroaching on each other's business too much until you start, bumping into each other as people start getting up and running.
Oh, and Phoenix also said he can help. He left his number here on the chat.
Yeah, Phoenix does some great stuff. So does Koyat. There's a bunch of you guys that are just really good at marketing and developing tools.
Phoenix wants to confirm there's no contract.
Yeah, there's no contract. Everything with us is month to month.
Amy, can you ask Pamela if you can post her flyers in the group?
What's that?
Deborah wants to know if we can ask Pamela if we can post her flyer in the group so they can see it.
Did you hear that question, Pamela? Can we post your flyers so people can see an example of what you're doing?
Oh, sure. I can do that.
Yeah, you want them to send her?
She has my email.
Site? Okay.
Yeah, send them to Amy and she'll get them posted
Even if
up.
you just send a photo, then they can use it for a reference.
It's just helpful for people to get. I'm very visual, so for me, I have to see things to make them really work in my head. Most of the time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm always thinking of new ways to change it. So it's never a finished product.
I'm just totally blown away by what you put together, Pamela. It's just beautiful what you've done.
Gino says, how do I know if the restaurant owners completed their sign-up process?
Well, you'll know because you'll get noticed on that.
It's in your back office.
It's in your back office.
And you should sit there and walk them through.
Yeah. I mean, the best way is what Scott does. He's making it familiar because he's in and out of the restaurants. Not to say you are or aren't, but you got to just walk them through it. When they understand the magnitude of what they're saving, and a lot of them say, oh, well, I don't really pay for it, but they do pay for it because they could get hit on the other side also for a fee. So there's a lot of hidden fees in this. And that's the other thing about the drivers. Drivers really don't know, what they're making, half the time because they don't have transparency on the receipts.
Hoyt, is Verb part of the marketer program?
The Verb is separate of the marketer program. The marketer program is for people like yourself that want to build in, you live in Canada and you want to build in the United States because we're open. So that gives you the ability, you don't have to sign up as a driver and go through all the other extraneous stuff, but you can earn at the same level, whatever your compensation plan is, you earn at the same level. You just don't have to mess around with that. The Verb program is a marketing tool that allows you to send out emails and videos and track who's opened them and who's not opened them. You can start in using that as a really focused marketing tool. And we've left that, we're in the process of getting up. We've just had a lot of things that I thought were more important than putting Verb up right now. It's ready to go. It's about 95% done, but we want to get everything else smoothed out, start getting restaurants onboarded and that kind of stuff, which is more important than getting Verb up. But Verb will be up pretty quickly. I don't know. It's probably a week or 10 days out still.
Mike Jones, how are things coming along with the driver sign up notification to be sent to us?
The driver notification when they sign up is not done yet. Once again, it's priorities. We have a staff of people that work. Basically, we have a day group and a night group on tech, and we're sorting all this kind of stuff out. That probably won't happen for another 10 or 15 days. It's not a priority. If you want to see who signed up, you can go in your back office and see it though. Right. So you got to visit your back office. That's the main tool that you need to see all the information about your business.
Mike Jones, I didn't see any marketing material back there. Well, then you didn't look very good.
Yeah, if you go under marketing tools, on the left-hand nav bar, there's about 8 or 10 items on there.
Sales and marketing tools.
Yeah, sales and marketing tools. There's also a link that says videos. Click on that link. It'll take you right to a lot of the stuff, either in English or Spanish, on the PowerPoints and trainings that have been done. So there's a lot of marketing materials. There's a lot of stuff back there. We'll be doing updates on, because of the new flow, when Shanna gets back next week, she'll start working on the new presentation, showing the new flow and all that stuff. It'll be a lot easier and a lot faster, believe me.
Ruby just found out Ken's from Hawaii and they're going to work Hawaii together.
Ken.
Ruby and Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Get it open because I want to come visit.
Yeah, Ruby's on the Big Island. Where are you at, Ken? Kepo?
Bernadette says Canva app is a great place to make flyers.
Which one?
Canva, C-A-N-V-A.
Okay.
Puerto Rico loves trip rides. We love you too. The question I keep getting from restaurants is, how are we going to get the customers? Don't worry, the customers will come.
The customers will come. We'll be doing retail marketing to drive customers to the apps. So that you don't want to start, because you got to get restaurants signed up. It doesn't cost them really anything till we get to activation. But once we start on the retail advertising side to the general consumer, why they should be using our app as opposed to somebody else. One is that they're going to save money. They're not going to get food marked up, right? So that's our CFO. I think I posted it the other day, bought some food on Grubhub, I think it was, wasn't it?
I think so.
Anyway, the order got messed up. He didn't get his food and his bill was like $47 and change. And then he went direct to the restaurant. It was $30 and change. So he was going to get marked up, 16, 17 bucks on a food order. So it's like 40-something% markup. I mean, I never knew about this stuff years ago. I mean, when I got into this business, it was purely by accident. It wasn't something I was looking to go create, but I saw all the inequities. And then what happened was actually we ordered an Italian dinner in one night, and a normal Italian dinner shouldn't be 60 or 70 bucks. And I didn't even realize the cost. And I go, wow, this is pretty expensive for in-home Italian dinner, little pasta, some meatballs, and, no wine or anything, just. So, yeah. And then I started looking into it. I go, wow, they marked that up 50%. And then it just kind of led me into the business. So we can save a lot of money, put more money in everybody's pockets. And this is a game changer. We just got to get the recognition in the marketplace, which is the consumer. But don't forget, we're in the grocery delivery business too. So once we start on that side of the business and driving customer, retention on that, the consumer, it's going to be a game changer too.
Can marketers work from the Caribbean?
Yeah, marketers can work anywhere. If you're a marketer, in the way we set the company up, you can work anywhere you want from any country you want, and you get paid. How that works is that's why we put the e-wallet, because we're good to pay in about 100 different countries through the e-wallet. It's all totally above board. It's all secured. It's all compliant. So we deposit your money in your e-wallet, and then you can move your e-wallet. If let's say you live in the Caribbean or Toronto, you can move it to your bank in Canada, where it is, or onto a debit card if you want. That's why we set it that way. So there's a lot of people that are looking to work with a company that don't live in the United States but want to earn here. They have contacts here. Vast majority of our Latino partners have family in Mexico, or then they have other extended family here. So it gives them the ability to work together as a family.
Sergey, are we allowed to sign up managers if the owner is not available? If the manager's allowed to.
If the manager has the authority, yes, you can. You just got to make sure that they're authorized, to sign for the company. Not that they're going to be out of pocket for an extensive time, but just make sure you just follow their internal procedures.
Jeff wants to know, can we open up the Facebook group so they can post freely?
We can open it up, but here's what happens.
It becomes a full-time job. But
yeah, it's like Wild Coyote, you open up the Facebook account, next thing you know, you got people going a little nutty and posting stuff. I mean, we could try it again, I guess, but I'm just trying to get through the first bit of stuff, because if we open it up right now and then you start having massive amounts of management or even one or two people trying to manage it, could get out of hand. But we're not opposed to that once we get up and running.
James Jones, congratulations. He signed up the Wingstop yesterday.
Oh, wow.
In Kentucky. He
Great.
wants to know, is there anybody in here online from Louisville, Kentucky? So if you can connect with James, you guys can work together.
Yeah, if anybody's from Louisville and you want to connect with James, that's a great market actually too.
You don't have a computer. Oh, okay, so Juan is saying if you're looking in the phone in the back office, you can't see everything from the cell phone. So you got to get online.
Yeah, I have the same thing because I do almost all my work on a phone, and sometimes it's not, you can't see everything.
Ruby, will we be getting a trip debit card?
Yeah, there'll be a trip debit card. Actually, just read that the other day on one of our internal processes. I think it's going to be about 6 or 8 weeks out. We have to print them up and we have to go through legal and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there'll be a trip debit card back there.
Are at the marketeers level, is the commissions the same? Marketers.
Yeah, look, it's what I said. It's the legacy is at 50 and 15, influencers at 50 and 10, pro drivers at 50 and 3, or what is it? 50 and 15, 50 and 10, and 50 and 5, excuse me. Then it goes to 40 for side hustle and 30 for a free person. So it's the same compensation plans, doesn't change. We're just trying to make it easier for the person that doesn't want to drive to also, that wants to earn, so they have another avenue. So everything's the same. It's just the process for signing up. You don't have to fill out all your background search or any of that kind of stuff.
Jesus, can people be signed up as marketers from a phone number not in the US?
No, you're going to need a US phone number.
Because we have to send a text, and
yeah.
currently we're only in the US, and that's it.
Okay, listen, we've been on for about 40 minutes. Just want to thank everybody. Keep pushing hard. I want to thank Pamela again. Just beautiful job. Also, Scott, dialed right in, dude. Appreciate it. I'm going to get on the road one of these days, hopefully, and catch up. Yeah, Pamela. Did you want to?
As far as the flight, what they might want to consider doing is getting a separate phone number from their regular number to put on their flyers. That also helps for business purposes. When you're separating your bill, because it's an additional $10 with most phone carriers to have a separate line. So, and also you don't want to have your personal phone number, advertised everywhere.
Next thing you know, you have 100 new friends, right?
Exactly.
That's a good idea, Pamela.
Alrighty.
Wants to know, drivers, will they be receiving an ID badge?
Yeah, you'll be receiving a lanyard and ID badge before we light it all up. Well, that's part of Art's new program we put in. If you're not aware of this, we have what we call the white glove program. So when you sign up a restaurant, then that restaurant will get a personal call from somebody on Art's team, welcome them to the company, talk to them about whatever their needs are, stay in touch with them. And then as we get towards lighting it up and all of that, they'll get a follow-on phone call and let them know. So we want to handle people on a personal basis. So that's the reason. And that's a little different. We've been getting some really positive feedback about Art's team making those calls. Vincent's very much involved in this. And we're starting to build out that staff now as we start to move forward. All right, guys. Well, listen, you have a great Saturday, great weekend. And I'll give you some updates on Monday. But thanks, everybody. You guys have a great day. Appreciate your help.
You too.
Look forward to building this together and knocking it out of the park.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye. Thank you.